Hi guys, and welcome back to the PhD vlog. So today's video is a special reflections video in which I'm going to look back at the last month of my PhD and give you some guidance as to what I think went well, what I think didn't go so well, what I can draw out of that experience, and what kind of pearls of wisdom I learnt during that last month that I want to pass on. I think overall it's fair to say that the last month of my PhD was one of the better months of my PhD. If you've been watching this channel for a while and you saw my March vlog, I think you will agree that this month was a lot easier. And I actually think that I can pinpoint the moment that my PhD became a little bit easier. Obviously there's been highs and lows along the way, but once I had finished my full draft and my supervisor had looked at the entire thesis as one thesis, not just as individual chapters, things happened really quickly and became a lot better. So if you are struggling, that's the moment when everything will become fine. There are three things that I learned this month that I wish that I'd known before I started. And these are things that not necessarily went wrong, but things that could have been easy. The first one is saving your work regularly. And this sounds like the most obvious piece of advice for any PhD student. And it's certainly something that I already did, so I saved my work twice a day, every day, in two places. Once on my laptop and once on Dropbox. However, as you will have seen during the June vlog, there was a stage where I lost a few hours work, and now I've gotten into the habit of just hitting Control-S and just saving my work at very regular intervals. Definitely think that that is something when you're getting to this final stage, you don't want to be put back a couple of hours, and it doesn't actually take any effort to save really regularly like that. The second thing is formatting. Now, everyone always tells you to not worry about formatting until the very last thing. So it's something that I've constantly been told throughout my academic journey, that if you format as you go, you're just going to end up into strife because everything changes. So you're best off waiting until you've finished your assignment or your dissertation or your thesis and then doing the formatting at the end. I disagree with this statement. I understand that things can move and that that's why you'd want to leave formatting to the end, but there are a few things that you can do at the very beginning, and I wish that I'd done them day one of my PhD. The first thing is to format your Word document with the margins required to be bound as a PhD thesis. So that requires a really large gutter on the left-hand margin so that when it's bound, you don't lose any text. And I didn't put that in until the month of June. You saw it on the vlog. And what happened was that messed up all my quotes. So I all of a sudden had quotes which were previously less than 3 lines long, so within the text, but now because my line space was now shorter because of the increased gutter, these quotes were suddenly going over 3 lines and had to be taken out of the main paragraph and formatted as a standalone quote. If I had put that gutter in on day one, this never would have happened. The final thing which I learned from my experiences in this final month of my PhD was that if you are going to arbitrarily choose a date to submit your PhD, it is best to choose a day of the week rather than a calendar date. So as you all know, I had decided off my own back to submit my thesis on the 30th of June. And that was just the date which I thought was feasible and the day that I wanted to get it done. What I didn't realise at the time was that 30th fell on a Tuesday and binding takes 2 working days. And so when I submitted my thesis to be bound on a Thursday, I wasn't able to pick it up onto a Monday. Essentially what happened was a 2-day process was turned into a 4-day process. So I would definitely recommend, if you're in the position where you're just choosing a date, choose a Friday, and that way you can send it off to get printed on Wednesday, pick it up Friday morning, and off you go. Now, I thought I would end today's video by sharing something with you all that I found. I've been going through a bit of a house clean, and I found a very, very old moleskin, which is from the very beginning of my PhD, and on the very last page, I have a plan of what I wanted to achieve in each of the 3 years of my PhD. So I thought I would tell you what I envisaged would happen at the beginning of my PhD, and then contrast it with what actually happened. So in year 1 of my PhD, I said I was going to study German because I'd never done any German before, audit an advanced Greek class, write 1 chapter, successfully upgrade, and work on my confidence. And I did all of those things in my first year. So my first year very much went how I envisaged it happening. In my second year, I wanted to audit a particular course which was on Greek plays that my university has offered, audit an advanced Latin course, continue doing German, present at a conference, write a journal article, and convene a conference. You'll notice I haven't written anything there about what I'm actually going to write on my PhD. So how did I go in my second year? Well, I didn't order the Greek play course. I only did Latin for 1 term, not 2 terms. I only did German for 1 year, so I didn't do that in my second year. I did do conference papers. I convened a conference in December, so that's 2 months late, but I think that's neither here nor there. And I did get my journal article submitted, but it took a lot longer to actually get it published. I hit and missed a few of those targets, but what I did do is write the majority of my PhD, which wasn't on my list, and I also taught for the first time in my second year. So I think on retrospect, I did quite well. Finally, in my third year, I wanted to audit a Latin course, study advanced German, submit my thesis, get a second publication out, and get a job. So this academic year doesn't finish until September, so I still have a few more months to hit these targets, but I can tell you now I didn't do advanced German. There just wasn't enough time to audit more languages and get my thesis in within the 3-year period. So I did submit my thesis. I am looking for a job and I'm planning on working on another publication before my Viva. So again, I hit some goals, I missed some goals, but what I did, which was not mentioned in my original goals, is I taught 2 subjects this year, and I presented a range of conference papers, including one which was in the States, and I also did a range of public engagement projects where I went out into schools, into theatres, and shared my research with different demographics. So I hope this has given you a little bit of a taste of what I envisaged the PhD journey to look like, and what it actually looked like. Thanks for watching today and for following the June 1 month until submission PhD vlog. I'm going to be uploading some more videos between now and my Viva. The next one is going to be a special video just about binding your thesis. That will go up next Sunday evening, but if you don't want to have to worry about coming back and checking, you can just subscribe to this channel and then you'll be notified when it goes live. Thanks again for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. Until next time, see you later guys, bye.